welcome to the Technosthetic Podcast. I'm your host, Eric, and this is your host, Randy. Today...
God, sounds so good, dude.
What does?
That microphone sounds so good.
It's so juicy, isn't it?
I need it, dude.
Dude, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. But, podcast, right?
Podcast.
There was a event today, and we were going to talk about it. The Apple event. We knew it was coming. We were so excited, right?
Oh, I was hyped.
Oh,
I was hyped. I mean,
it's always fun.
I mean, I'm a big Apple fan, as you are too. You know, so it's something I always look forward to every year. It's a good time. It's well produced, great cinematography. You know, great marketing.
Yeah, dude.
Usually some pretty exciting products. So it's definitely a time of the year that I look forward to.
Yeah, you know, it's funny for this podcast. I pulled these out. I have these mouse pads that my mom gave me.
Oh, dude, they're pretty cool.
These are like Apple.
Are they both
vintage.
the same?
Yeah, they're the same ones. You can have one if you want. They're like vintage Apple. I feel like this came with like one of the original like colorful ones or whatever. I don't know, or maybe
like the iMacs when Steve Jobs first type of sweet.
Yeah, I don't know. My mom like they do a lot of house flipping and they get a lot of foreclosures, so they get a lot of like old stuff that people leave in these houses. And like, so she's always given me weird relics like that, and I'm like, oh, sweet. But
by the way, what's your drink for the podcast, dude? I kind of want to make that a thing. Like, what are we drinking during the podcast?
That's fun. That's fun. I got one of these balls.
Oh, you and the balls.
This
dude.
is a ginger balls.
Where I'm at, dude.
Oh shit! Hold on, dude.
I covered my eyes.
Your eyes, dude. What is that? A zero sugar? What is that?
Zero sugar Zoa.
Zoa. It's not like a Z circle triangle.
Maybe it's like PlayStation controllers, like Z circle triangle.
Yeah, dude. Z fold, dude.
Yeah.
You know. All right, so this Apple event, dude. Like, I gotta say, the marketing was on point, dude. Like the cinematography,
the marketing was fantastic.
Dude,
yeah.
what they
10 out of 10.
Yeah, dude. That whole thing was filmed with the cinema mode. You know what I'm saying?
Was it the whole event?
No, no way.
I was gonna say that is some clever use of lighting if that was the case.
Dude, how much editing would be involved for that, dude? It's like, we got to retake this. The fake blur fucked up like again, so we have to redo this image. Redo this clip because the hair it wigged out on against somebody's like fro. And like blurred it out when it was supposed to be tack sharp. Sorry, we got to retake that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Crazy stuff going on there.
Yeah, so we have, I'm just going to summarize the event, okay? iPad mini, Apple Watch, iPhone 13, 13 Pro, and that's it. Okay.
The new iPad. Don't forget the new iPad.
And the new iPad, like the base level iPad, right?
That still for some reason has giant bezels in 2021.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
you know what bothers me about that, dude?
What?
Pull up the Galaxy Tab Fan Edition. That thing is like $200, and it looks so clean.
Fan Edition. Okay, so the Fan Edition stuff from Samsung's the cheaper stuff, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm on the Samsung website, and let's see what I got. Galaxy Tab
S7 Fan Edition.
Edition, dude.
What is the cost on that?
I don't know. Let's hit the buy now button and find out. Oh my god, for $179, Wi-Fi only.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, they have that's the 12.4.
Explain, Apple.
Yeah, dude. So this is like half. Like, what's the iPad Mini cost? No,
the
OG is like $349 or something.
It's like $329, I think it is. I think it's $329, and then $299 if you're on.
Hold on.
On like an EDU.
64 gigs, $329. Okay, so
and what does the Fan Edition start at? Storage wise,
64. So if you buy, so the parity device would be $179 instead.
But look at that thing, bro. Just look at it.
You know, I gotta say, like, this looks nice.
Doesn't it?
I haven't looked at Android tablets in like a long time. This is like an iPad Pro almost.
So all of Samsung's Tab S7s can run native DeX mode.
Okay. Wow,
you know
that's really cool.
Yeah. So like apps open in Windows and stuff like little Windows and stuff.
So you know, we both got the Fold, dude. Like, does Samsung include their excellent like multi-app software stuff? Like,
everything.
Then this has to be pretty decent. Like, this has to be like the best Android tablet.
So the first time I saw it in action, right, was pre-COVID. And I had a friend Alex who would DM for a D&D group.
Hmm.
And he had a Tab S6, and that thing was freaking cool.
Okay.
Like that's how he would kind of like pull up maps, and then like he would have like our stats and levels on one side, and then maps on the other side. But you could essentially run it like an Android phone
Yeah.
with like multitasking and stuff like that, or you can push a button and it goes into the full desktop experience on your tablet.
Dude, I'm kind of like I'm
Yeah.
kind of in shock at how cheap this is right
Yeah,
now.
dude, right?
I'm
Like,
like,
it's like that's the first thing
wait
I
a
saw when
minute,
I saw
wait a
that new
minute.
iPad and I saw how it looked,
Guys,
and I'm like, this thing is definitely coming
well,
in at
hold on, dude.
$199. Yeah.
There's a catch though. If you look, this is after your trade-in.
Oh,
If you say no trade-in,
Oh, okay.
$529. Now hold on.
Wait, go down. Go down.
Hold on, there's cheaper ones. What do you want? It says no trade-in, $529. So due today if you do the financing, blah blah.
Oh.
So hold on though, there's more to the story here. There's like 3 different ones. I guess it's weird. $529 for the fan edition or the
Let's
just
see what I
regular
saw.
11
Where,
inch.
where I saw was on Best Buy.
Okay.
Let me
Well-
see what I have here.
Okay, because like for a minute there, I was like, "There's no way it's that cheap," and I scrolled down. What's the catch? And that's when I saw. I was like, "Oh, if you get your trade-in credit and like all that." So, $329 for like a base like OG iPad isn't bad.
Okay,
64 gigs is kind of garbage, but
Yeah, 64 gigs is weird. It's nice to see that the phones are no longer 64. So
yeah. So I mean, I could see people buying the cheapest iPad just because like you're just on the web. You know what I mean? Like maybe
Right.
you're just in apps, maybe you're on Facebook. Like my mom would get the 64, right? Like she's not making videos, taking pictures with their iPad. Like she's just like on Facebook all day. You know what I mean? Like that would
Sure,
be like what my
sure.
mom would do, or like but like somebody that
So-
might want to download stuff or whatever. Like,
for
I get it.
clarification, the one I saw on Best Buy was the Tab A7.
A7. What's the difference? What's an A7?
It looks cheaper.
Okay. Because I was
That's
like,
best I can put it.
there's no way it's that cheap. Okay, I'm glad that we caught that. I'm sitting here like
Yeah.
hyping it up, like, oh my god. But yeah, okay, so the iPad is still pretty decent.
Yeah, the Tab
value-wise.
A7 is $229 at Best Buy.
Yeah. Let me pull it up, but okay, so $229, and this is a 10.4 inch Wi-Fi, blah blah, and they have it in gray and gold. It's definitely not as nice.
The Fan Edition.
It's not as nice as the fan edition. The fan edition is like, that thing is nice looking.
It's super nice.
It looks like an iPad Pro, but like, I don't know. I'm impressed with this. The only thing is, dude, even in 2021, like I'd be really hesitant to get
to buy
a tablet that's non iPad.
that's not an iPad.
I think if Google did more to make like the Android experience for that better, like I'd be all about it. Like I don't feel like the Android experience on Android tablet experience is better. Even now, I don't feel like they really care about tablets.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as like foldables become more mainstream, because that's kind of like a tablet layout. If innately Android tablets will just natively get better by virtue of phones now having a tablet display.
So, like, does Google have any native multi-app support that isn't
Define multi-app
like,
support.
you know how on Samsung devices you can do like multi-window, like split view and like stuff like that, like 2 apps on screen at once? Is that stuff that Samsung like does out of their way?
It's
like,
been a while since I've had a Pixel, but the framework for that I know is in Android 12.
okay, because
Uh,
you would really need Google to do something on the
right.
Android
right.
level and not like on
I
the
think
one
there is
UI.
actually.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as what Samsung has. Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay.
It does.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
had it
really
since
confused.
2017.
I'd love to see more iPad competition. It's only going to make Apple. It's only going to force Apple to make better iPads.
No, it's definitely not as polished as what Samsung has done, but it does exist.
Okay.
However, for single app usage, I think there's a good portion of Google's native apps that now support tablet view on phones,
Okay.
like Google Messages, for example.
No, that's good. Like I'm glad that there are apps that are finally utilizing, you know, tablet, UI.
Yeah,
And that's good because like you said, foldables are becoming mainstream. Like we need apps that can scale up. I was experiencing this myself the other day. You remember when I had you download RetroArch, which is
I
the
do.
emulator?
Which is supposed to help me set up, by the way.
Yeah, so I was setting it up yesterday just to play around with it. And by default, like it scales everything huge, like gigantic. It must think you're on a phone. But you can go into the settings and then say adjust the scaling to 0.5, and then it's like beautiful on the thing. But yeah, it's like things just aren't optimized yet, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move forward, dude. So back to the Apple event, dude. They led with the iPad. I think I kind of missed the beginning, and then they rolled into iPad Mini, and I think the iPad Mini is the most exciting thing of the whole event.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of like that size, that form factor. And it looks great. Like honestly, it looks fantastic. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, this thing looks stellar.
Look at this wallpaper, dude.
I thought the same thing too. Like someone drew that, and that is really good.
That looks slick.
That's Apple to a T, dude.
Like it says Mini. Do you see that? That's freaking sick.
It, dude. Yeah, it's incredible.
I love it. Marketing, dude. So this thing looks really nice, dude. Doesn't this make you think like, what if, dude? What if this folded?
It folded in half. It does. It does. So here's where my kind of what I hoped for realistically disappointment set in.
Yeah.
I wanted to see some sort of IP rating on at least the iPad Mini.
Oh man, that's very wishful thinking. That would be.
I mean, why not? Right? Like, if you look at that device can't be that difficult to waterproof.
They could do it. That would be, let's get it. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It must be it's going to cut into their profit margins.
It's a cost factor, right? But like, as someone who, again, uses their iPad a lot, I'm always mindful of when it's on my desk with drinks or if my friends are over and we're drinking. Like, it's like one of those things that's like, for those of you who don't know, I have like the boys over on Saturday night for like board games and video games and beer night, to drink beer. And we kind of use my iPad as like my dedicated music player for the room we're in. But I'm always like super mindful of where my iPad is in correlation to what we're drinking. And like when we have music on where like if we were controlling music from my phone, the fold included, I don't care where it is. You know what I mean? Because if there's a party foul, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like that sounds like a weird scenario.
Like
but
no, I mean that makes sense, dude. Like you were saying that when you with the OG fold, like you'd kind of have to think about it. Like even people like Flossie Carter, they're like, I wouldn't want to take the fold 2 to the bar or whatever and get a drink spilt on it. I get it.
Yesterday, we had a big rainstorm here, and I was trapped outside leaving the restaurant, and I had my fold in my hand, and I didn't care. It was a nice feeling, and like I get it, you get that with the iPhone. But when you market the iPad Pro or the iPad Mini as a tool, you have to assume that some people are using it in not the best of conditions. So,
right.
I don't think Samsung waterproofs their tablets either, so this isn't really like, a parity feature that's missing, but it would have been nice for Apple to make that push and actually do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't think of any
something
tablets.
I would have liked to see.
Can you think of any tablets like that have it? That aren't
you
like
call the Fold a tablet?
Yeah. Okay. The Fold's the closest thing.
Yeah.
Like the Fold is the closest thing to this form factor. Oh, look at this, dude. Look at this picture right here. You know what that thing is?
Is that your company, dude? Your modern computer, whatever they are?
Teenage Engineering, yeah. That's the OPZ, dude. OPZ.
OPZ,
Could
dude.
you tell, dude? Yeah, dude. That's my company, dude.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I gotta say, it's a long time coming for this. Like, I really am glad to see the Mini.
I'm glad. So on the Mini note, I'm glad we got refreshes to both Minis this year.
I know that. Yeah, I think that you're upset about the bezels.
Not on this one. On this one, I'm fine with it. I'm upset with the bezels on the new iPad.
Okay.
Because literally, like, come on,
The first,
like, yeah,
like iPad.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, why do we still have a home button there? Like,
I get it.
why do we still use that?
I don't know, man. Like, it's got to be like super cheap now for them to develop to make this.
That's gotta be the only reason. Yeah,
They're like, we're
yeah.
gonna
Like
get
the mini bezels,
yeah.
I'm fine with. I have no problem with those. Those I have a big problem with.
You know what this does? All this device is meant to do is lock people into the Apple ecosystem for cheap.
Yep.
It's for the people that are like
that's a good point,
breaking
dude.
in.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
it
it's for
is.
people who like buy like an iPhone 11 because like iPhone 11, iPhone 13, and they can get a base level iPad for $1,000.
Right.
Right. Assuming they get the mini, right? 'Cause that's what, $699. So then a little over $1,000, you get an iPad and then an iPhone mini.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they need to hit all price points. That's why you have the budget iPhone, the budget iPad, and there's budget Mac options too. But like, they got to hit them all, dude. They got to hit all price.
Would have been nice
points.
to see the base iPad finally just adopt the new thing. And can someone please tell me why they're still selling the Series 3 watch? Like, that thing is even miserable to use.
Yeah, dude. A lot of people were like laughing about that. Why? Series 3, why? I don't know, man. They got to hit all price points, dude. That's one of their cheap one. So let's talk about that actually, because Apple Watch Series 7. Okay, cool. Let's learn more. I mean, I was really expecting that redesign. I guess you're not really shocked.
We saw it in the leaks, right? So like, I kind of expected we would get it. And like, I was really excited for it, right? Like, I think I would be more excited for it still if we got it. But it was kind of one of those things where like I kind of sat back and I looked at like what a watch, where you wear a watch and what it does. And then I think of the original Apple Watch design that Johnny Ive did. And it kind of is the perfect design. Like, if you think of how the screen flows into the sides, like how it kind of looks seamless, like stop right there. Stop right there in your scroll. Like, see how like the curvature of the glass kind of finishes off the curvature of the case?
Yeah.
Like, that literally is the perfect design. So I feel like, in my opinion anyway, we would be moving to a suboptimal design for sake of having something look new and not give us really any advantage, because it's a timepiece first and foremost, right? Like, it's something you wear on your wrist.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sucks it's the same design, but it's timeless. You know, it's kind of like I said before, like it's Apple Watch, man. Like, that's what it is.
Let me ask you this, dude. This is actually, since you're talking about timeless, right? Like, the iPhone, it's constantly been going through, and I know a lot of people are pretty bored. Like, we always complain, okay, the iPhone, we want to see something new, but like eventually we're going to get to the point where they get rid of the things that we absolutely know they need to get rid of. Like, we're going to have just a glass slab, right? There's going to be no notch. You're going to have all display. And then, like, at what point are you done? Like, at what point have you reached the pinnacle of what we can do with this form factor? And, like, because right now we have the rounded edges, with I have the 12 Pro Max here. And, like, with this, it's kind of like glass slab, like, what can they do?
So I used to think that with, like, the old iPhones, right? Like, when I was younger, I would go back to, like, the iPhone 4, because I think that's still a gorgeous phone, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think we can all agree that was a really good design. So I would think, like, man, how do they improve on this? And like, yeah, I wanted the bigger screen. Yeah, I wanted all that stuff. But I think that once you reach that point, you either try to innovate like the Xiaomi, like the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra.
Yeah.
By adding different features. I don't know if you've ever seen that phone, but the back has a small display on it as well. So it has your main screen, right? But on the back next to the camera module is a mini, like, always on display.
Okay. Interesting.
That you could basically either use just like as a normal always on display, like on your Samsung phone, or you can use it as like a preview camera. So you can use the main shooters for selfies and stuff like that. So that's a pretty cool add-on, I think, Yeah. Like, but as far as form factor goes, I think that's why it changes. I think that's why now we're folding.
Yeah.
Because if you look at phones like the S21 Ultra,
okay,
that's a really good example of we've reached the pinnacle of candy bar design.
Right. Okay.
I think that's a gorgeous phone, front and back. It's literally edge to edge, no compromise on any aspect of that phone. Like that phone in black, I think, is the pinnacle of candy bar phone design.
Right. You know, I always think about this. I think one of the things that Apple would love to do is even make it thinner. Obviously, they can't do that without compromising battery with the current battery technology. But if battery technology allowed it, do you think they would? I think they would.
See, it's interesting you say that because I used to think, excuse me, Apple was obsessed with thin and light. But why would they switch to stainless steel, which is a heavier metal, over aluminum?
Right.
Like
You'd
realistically
need it for the
speaking,
durability if you go thin.
right?
Know?
But
Yeah.
you would also be adding weight, and they didn't really. I'm pretty sure that they also made it thicker.
Yeah, I think at one point they did get thicker. So I just wanted to bring up a phone that was actually super thin. The Surface Duo, dude. Like unfolded, like that thing is super thin. Have you felt one of these?
I did, and in a store on a tether.
Yeah. Each piece is like kind of thin, dude. Like, look at
know what kind of gets me too.
Yeah.
In like the world of thinness.
Yeah.
Like if you unfold your fold, like one half of that boy is really thin.
Yeah, it is. It's actually
like it's
thin.
Totally thinner than an iPhone.
Yeah, I guess I could have my iPhone. Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
you can't really tell.
Right? Yeah,
I have it on camera, but like
like side by side, you could really tell.
Yeah, the iPhone's definitely a thicker device. Like I'd say that if they can do it without compromising, without like a bend gate or something, like they'll do it, right?
So, I think so too.
It's going to be a while before we have battery tech. You know what? Not just battery tech. I think that if we can get efficiency, like if we get better chips that are powerful and like SIP power, then you could go thinner too.
I think Samsung's on the right path. And like this applies to Apple too, since Samsung is a supplier of screens for them.
Yeah.
Where they can really get down the energy cost of the display. I think that Apple has pretty much nailed the power efficiency pretty well on their processor.
Yeah.
That I think that the display is probably the lowest hanging fruit now in terms of battery performance. So back to the watch though, because this is actually the most exciting thing to me. Like
the watches?
Yeah, for sure.
Series 7.
Oh my god, yeah, for sure.
Why is it exciting? I'm trying to figure that out myself because like obviously it's like you said, timeless design, and like I like the. I mean, I'm all about like getting rid of those bezels, dude.
Yeah, so like that's kind of part of it. That's kind of part of it. But so, as someone who's an avid watch user, I love my Series 6, love my Galaxy Watch 4, and actually one of the main reasons I went back to. Yeah, that's a pretty cool picture.
Am I crazy? Like that looks way significant in this picture. I don't know if it's
20%, but like, of course, Apple's going to show it in the best light with like a superimposed picture and use that full color thing so you could really see the difference.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but
like this
really watch
shows
face right here. Yeah, like that watch face right there really does a good job of showing it off. I'm really curious to see if like in a lot of their marketing shots, and I think of that one specifically, it almost looks like a waterfall screen from like Samsung, where like if you view it on the side, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's going to be how it is in reality, but that's really exciting to me. I guess what I didn't, so like I purposefully only watched the keynote, and I wanted to like kind of unpack this together on the podcast because I thought it would be a little bit more interesting. So keep it on that screen right there. It says crack resistant, but our strongest crystal ever. So are all Series 7s have a sapphire crystal display now, or just the higher end ones still?
Well,
because
it's
that reads to me like they all do.
Well, if you look at this here, their marketing's very clear. You have the aluminum Apple Watch here. And why are they using the aluminum Apple Watch to talk about their strongest front crystal? If it's you know what I mean, like are they because what's the aluminum Apple Watch historically had? It's like
it's had like the Gorilla Glass, well not like it's Apple's version, like the Ion X glass.
Okay, but they don't really call it a crystal unless it's sapphire crystal, right? So like
that's like kind of my understanding. But like if you pull up the product page, right? Like if you go to the actual specs of the versions, like if you wanted to buy one, which by the way, really bizarre that you can't even like order them or try to order them or even look at the order page or anything for the Apple Watch.
I'm trying to figure out like how to do it. It doesn't let me. Just says available later.
No, you can't. Like it doesn't even have a launch date. Yeah. They are uncertain when this thing is ready.
Okay.
That's very un-Apple, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be just, BS. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Product red.
I mean, we're gonna have to do some more digging once more information becomes available, but
Yeah.
that will be really, really interesting
Do they
to
not
see. I'm
have
kind of
a Starlight? That's not even gray. That's like a. There's like
no, there's
there's
no
no.
straight aluminum. There's this like off-white
Oh,
aluminum now called
I
Starlight,
don't
which is
like
also
it.
in the iPad, and the normal and like the normal. You can see it a lot better on the
Yeah.
iPhone 13. So if you go to the iPhone 13 page, you can pull it up and see the new Starlight
Yeah.
color pretty well. Uh, Unpopular opinion. I kind of like it.
Starlight.
Yeah,
Okay. I
I
mean,
kind
I
of
don't know.
like
I
it
don't
on the
hate it.
phone, but I would definitely go midnight if I were to get a mini. But the Starlight one kind of looks like that like warm cream color, like kind of like how Samsung's Flip looks. You know, like the cream color Flip.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty much that color. Yeah,
Oh,
just go to see
okay.
pricing and go to see
Yeah.
pricing.
And then I
I
can do
mean,
it.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you could pick Starlight right there.
Well, they have
It's
silver.
not a pro. It's not a pro.
Oh,
It's only in the fun boy colors.
fun. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. I gotta go to 13. View pricing. Let's check out Starlight. Oh yeah, I mean it looks good. It is. It's kind of like an off-white.
Yeah, it's like that like opaque creamy color.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm game with it. It looks good. I don't. Gosh, I'm surprised. I thought they'd have even more fun colors than this.
Yeah.
These are almost like pro colors, right? Like they're not really. They're kind of subtle. Like a lot of times they'll do like something a little bit more bold. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
No,
know.
I get it.
They got the red
I
one.
get it.
That's neat. Have they? They haven't done the red every year, have they? I don't think so.
So usually they do, right? But it's usually not at launch. Usually, like you'll get
Right.
like halfway through the life cycle, and then they'll do the Project Red things.
Yeah, because it's just like they're just launching with it this
Yeah.
time. Which is, hey,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that too. You know, I personally think it's a good cause. I think it's pretty cool. I did have the red iPhone SE2 for a brief stint because I love the size of it. This was before the Mini came out. This was during the iPhone 11 cycle,
Right.
and I just love that size in iPhone. Like it's again, you know, this is coming back to. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but the iPhone isn't really conducive, at least for me, to be productive on. It's like a device that it's like a get in get out
Yeah. So
device.
that's kind of like been my mindset with the iPhone is it's kind of like um it's obviously a great device, but it's not really one that I want to spend a lot of time on.
Right.
Like you're saying, get in, get out. Like it's kind of something like if I need to do something really quick, or I need the phone specific stuff. Like, but like the Fold is so good at doing everything that I
Yeah.
end up being on the Fold. Like I think that if I were locked into Apple, like the ecosystem, I definitely want an iPad or something for more
Yeah, like
like
I said,
longer.
you know, as someone who loves their iPad, and by the way, I think the iPad Mini is dope as hell. It's like I love that size, I love that form factor.
Yeah.
I like that it's probably still the only iPad that I could probably read a book on comfortably, holding it with one hand. But the problem is now is the Fold does that for me. You know,
Yeah.
it's the Fold is less than an inch smaller, and it's just on me at all times. So as
Yeah.
someone who still uses their iPad constantly, I've kind of relegated my iPad to my work device. And now just by virtue of the Fold literally being on me, you know, when I go out to eat, when I'm in the bathroom, when I'm waiting in line somewhere, it's kind of been relegated to my everything device because I get that, you know, iPad mini experience in my pants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of love that. So, I mean, I love this right here. I really do like the Mini. I think it's awesome. I
I do
had
too.
a when the Mini first launched as a product line, I bought the first one and I really did love it. I still have it. It's in the other room. I
You
haven't
know,
charged it in years, but I
You
have it.
know, if I was still diehard Apple ecosystem, I think my ideal lineup would be 12 mini, iPad mini, iPad 12.9,
The big one or hold
the
on.
big one,
Yeah.
and MacBook M1X 16.
Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. Cuz like you wouldn't need the 13, you'd have the iPad, right?
Right,
And then
right.
like you'd
So
have the basically that's the full different array of sizes and capabilities.
So my thought process behind that would be my phone would just be the device I need to have.
Yep.
Like it would just be my get in, get out. It's in my pocket device. The iPad Mini would be my everyday read media consumption device. The 12.9 I would probably use a lot in Sidecar for when I was using the pencil for like Photoshop work and stuff. Because I'm not gonna lie, the bigger real estate is if you use that for like Photoshop applications or like Procreate or things of that nature, it's in another class of experience.
Right.
And then the 16, just because I'm currently a Final Cut boy trying to convert, but
Soon.
Timeline stuff is just a lot better on a bigger screen, So
100%. Yeah. So we'll get you off of Final Cut Pro. We'll get you into DaVinci Resolve. But yeah, no, dude, because like it's so nice to edit on the LG, like the big boy.
Yeah, it's so nice.
So nice to be able to just have this like massive screen for editing. But I mean, not to dog on Final Cut. It's great. It's a great program.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's just for someone like Eric and myself who are platform agnostic, I guess you can say.
Yep.
That's where the challenge comes in for us. I do want to get back to the watch though, briefly.
Yeah, we can pull it up. What's up?
So I want to touch on a few things. One, I just want to talk about how more polished this software looks than even watchOS 7. Everything about it just seems seamless. Like the swipe keyboard looks like it's going to be implemented with that same Apple polish. I love the new watch faces. Big fan of Apple Fitness.
Yep.
So saying that they're still pushing that and integrating it even further is a big win for me. I think that's pretty awesome. Again, no, even if it isn't the sapphire crystal on the lower model,
right?
I bought the aluminum watch Series 6 as my first aluminum. Every one before that I had a stainless steel just because I wanted the blue boy to match my phone.
Yeah,
and that thing was a scratched to hell mess.
Right,
and right. I could tell you that every stainless steel one with the sapphire crystal I had looked brand new after like a year of use. So any bump in durability is pretty awesome. Really excited about the USB-C charger now. That's huge.
Yeah, nice.
It's kind of like I almost feel like this was like a catch-up year for Apple, but sometimes that's okay, because you have those people who just bought a 12 or a 12 Pro, or they just got a Series 6, and they may not necessarily feel too compelled to upgrade, but those who are ready for an upgrade are going to get some nice features.
Yeah, I agree, dude. So, like, one of the cool things, I loved this part of their marketing when they had, like, the rocks coming in and hitting the surface of the glass. Did you see that?
When that dude fell on the bike, dude?
Yeah.
I didn't know where they were going with that, but then when they zoomed out, I was like...
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious. I loved it.
I thought it was kind of foreshadowing because the 12 Pro models, I don't know if the other ones, but the 12 Pro models had the macro lens.
Right.
So I'm not sure if that really close up on the dust was like foreshadowing for macro photography or macro shots. But anyway, I thought that was a really cool tie-in.
Yeah, it was, dude. So I don't know. I like the design. I don't think it's a bad design. I kind of was excited for the new look.
Because it's new, though. But
just because it's new. But you're right.
You can see my point, right? Like, everything about it is rounded.
Yeah. No, and, like, as far as, like, ergonomics go, this is better.
It is.
Right?
It's
going to be the more comfortable, more ergonomic
This is the God design. Yeah.
Like, it's honestly, nothing is wrong with this at all. It's honestly kind of, I don't know, it is a perfect design. And it's just timeless. Like, the only thing they really could improve was, lessening the bezels, and they've done that. I don't really see myself wanting anything more out of this other than just better battery life and, like, honestly, the form factor is kind of small enough for me. Yeah. I just want it to be more functional, better battery life. That's really all I want.
Speaking of battery life, can I tell you something that really upsets me about Apple keynotes?
What's that?
Every device they have, they say all-day battery life.
But
that's kind of relative, right? Like all day battery life to my mother is not all day battery life to me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like that doesn't tell me anything,
It doesn't tell me anything either. So, I mean, No, you're right. It's not really a metric. Like this is where you need third parties to actually do the testing and tell you like an
Yeah,
hour
yeah.
number. Like
Which, by the way, speaking of just like Apple playing catch up,
yeah,
you know how I noticed that like Apple was behind.
yeah,
I watched a battery comparison video. It was the Z Fold 3, the Z Flip 3, the S21 Ultra, the Huawei Mate something, the Xiaomi Mi Mix 11 Ultra, the iPhone 12 Pro Max, the iPhone 12, the Motorola something, I forget what it's called, like the Motorola Edge or
right.
something like that, and the LG Velvet. And literally, the battery test, the iPhone fared very well in it, but that was literally the only phone out of like 11 that still had a 60 hertz display. The only phone.
Yeah, yeah. You were telling me that. So like, I definitely am glad that they're bringing an adaptive refresh, and they're bringing 120 like Pro Motion is what they want to call it on their Pro models. I'm sad
Yeah.
to not see. I'm sad to not see Pro Motion on iPad Mini. I'm sad to not see it on
Dude.
the iPhone 13.
Yeah, so like that's another thing, right? Like you're gonna have these pro devices and you're gonna have these pro monitors, and I get it. Like more SKUs are kind of a nightmare, logistically speaking. Uh, but again, you and I are pretty pro people, I would say. Probably more so than what Apple defines pro as.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's fair.
uh, but you and I are probably most excited for the iPad Mini,
Yeah,
and it doesn't have feature parity with the Pro devices, and that kind of is unfortunate because it's
like the
what
form
we're
factor is a preferred one. Like,
exactly
give
right,
me the
exactly right. Yeah,
same
yeah,
proness as the Pro
yeah,
iPad, just make it
yeah,
smaller. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like kind of like why the 13 Pro Max being better than like the 13 Pro would make you upset,
yeah.
right? Like you just want a smaller device. Like why do I got to get the big boy to get
Which
the
is the
best
main
boy?
reason why we like the 13 Mini and the iPad Mini,
Yeah,
because when you're
dude.
dealing with like portable device guys,
Yeah,
like portability is king. Otherwise, I would take my desktop everywhere.
yeah, I
You know what I
know.
mean? Like that's clearly the main reason why you buy that, because you want to be portable with it.
Yeah. You know what's weird is portability isn't like a metric that people really market or advertise, but it's so significant, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like it's such a big deal. And I'm really sad to see like you have to buy the certain size
yeah. To get the features you
to get
want.
the features you want, and like that's why I kind of wish there was like a 13 Pro Mini or something, like give me that. Give me that 13 Pro Mini, but I get it. Like it's definitely not profitable for them to do that, or they would have done it.
Yeah.
So, but let's talk about iPhone 13, dude. So I got it pulled up
Yeah.
here.
There's a lot I want to unpack here. First off, praise anyone you pray to, because this phone now has a 4-letter display. It took, I don't know how many renditions, but we have it.
Oh shoot, I know. I'm really happy, dude. Like, okay, we got quality now. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
dude. 13. I mean, we had a diagonal now with the cameras. I mean, dude.
Can you believe that? I think I pointed it out to you, but that was like the third bullet point feature they had was like, and an all new diagonal camera lens layout.
I
Like,
Oh, dude, look.
yeah.
Oh. How did we get such a huge camera upgrade to fit? By thinking diagonally. They're basically saying like, yo, bro, we upgraded these cameras so much, they had to be diagonal.
Yeah.
It
No,
wouldn't
they
have
didn't
fit
have to be.
vertically, dude. It wouldn't have
I
fit.
quit. I
dude.
quit, dude.
Dude, they had to do it. This is how we do it.
I quit, dude.
Okay, so to be fair, they added what, like OIS, right?
Yes, it finally has the OIS. I don't know if it's
Sensor
the same
shift.
sense for the 12 Pro Max, but
That's
OIS
good.
is huge. Now
It's
we
even
know
in the
this, but
mini.
I'm not even sure if like everyone else out there knows this. But uh, OIS is super beneficial for stills.
Yeah.
I would say probably even more so than video.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just because the way iPhone does video and how it looks so smooth is because it's a combination of OIS and software.
Right.
But with pictures, when you do a full sensor readout, you can really hold that camera still for a lot longer. So you get better exposures on like night mode and stuff like that because it can kind of stabilize the sensor with a lower shutter speed.
Right. Right. Speaking of cameras, dude, they say the iPhone went to film school, so you don't have to. Presenting cinematic mode. Filmmakers use this sweet cinematic mode, dude. Shifting focus from one subject to another. Look at this demo, dude. So obviously,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that demo was pretty good.
Yeah. So like, I was impressed with the qualityness of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, so like, here's my problem with that, dude, and like, here's where I stand with that. Do you remember when the iPhone 4 camera came out and they did all those billboards, right? Like the shot on iPhone 4 billboards and stuff. No one's pictures looked like that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like they literally spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to create the perfect studio environment.
They did.
And
so like, I mean, that's the same thing.
Don't look at these guys and then come home and then be like, oh man, I'm gonna shoot a film on my iPhone. Like,
dude, that's what they want you to do, dude. Look at these. They got like the perfect lighting, the perfect studio. They got like, you know what's weird about this is it's kind of a, this is, tell me if I'm wrong, dude. This is not really changing focus. Like, does it do the fake bokeh, like fake blur for this?
I mean, I'm not an Apple engineer, but it's definitely doing fake bokeh for sure.
I think it's doing both. Because,
well, again, you know, I'm promising a camera video. We got to do it.
Okay.
Because that'll explain a lot of this. But any bokeh you can adjust in post is fake.
Yeah. No, 100%. When I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. So that means this is fake. Like, I thought it was just like changing the focal point and it was just like focusing on a different thing. You know, like,
no,
it's not that. It might be both, but like, it's definitely no.
Okay. So I'm just going to touch on this briefly because it's coming up. So by virtue of how camera sensors read out images, right? You're always going to have some natural depth of field. Always.
Yeah.
130% always. So the problem is that the small sensor size, nearly everything is always going to be in focus because of the size of the sensor. So like, that's why when you take an iPhone shot, like you really don't have, you know, take a landscape shot on your phone. Everything's in focus all of the time. And it's just physics, right? Like I tell this to like my girlfriend. I tell this to other people who, you know, take pictures with their cameras and stuff. That if Canon could find a way to shrink this down, if Sony could find a way to make this pocket, they would, because they would revolutionize the industry.
Yeah, I know.
But it's literally physics.
It's physics.
You know what I mean? Like,
so one thing to note is like you can get bokeh on a phone, but it's probably only relegated to stuff super close. Like it has to be like me taking a picture of this bottle like right here. Like you can get, but like if it's at any distance away, like even in this marketing here, like this is probably
that's too far away. That's too far away for a camera sensor. That's 100% neural engine nonsense.
Which I mean, to be fair, like it looks great, but they are literally doing like a best case scenario for this.
This is definitely a best case scenario. I mean, even with the renditions we have in stills portrait mode now, you can tell right away, right? And like sometimes, like people kind of say, "Oh, look at the edges," like that's fine and stuff. But also, again, like depth of field has fall off, right? So like if you look at a portrait mode shot, it's literally like the same Gaussian blur throughout the whole thing, no matter how far away or close it is.
You know, another thing to note about this is like there's no like dynamic things in the scene. Everything is still. So like, of course, the computational like depth of field is gonna work perfect with like static objects, basically.
Right. Big true.
So, like if as soon as you go out into like the outdoors and stuff, like it's gonna struggle with this cinematic mode sort of thing.
You know what else I noticed too in this shot? Go back up for a second if you don't mind. Is like look at the contrast difference between her face, what her face is behind, and his face, and what he's behind, and what he's wearing and she's wearing in the background. Like they really even probably picked out their outfits and hair color.
Yeah.
No, because like if she had black hair, I bet it would struggle a lot more.
Well,
just based off of how I know it works.
Yeah, so I mean, it would have a lot harder time, kind of like the contrast between her and the environment makes it a lot easier for the neural engine or whatever to do its job. Like it can see everything. Like this is obviously a perfect best case scenario for the thing. To be fair, very impressive with what they shot.
Oh, for sure, it's very impressive. But guys, like, I guess what we're saying is like the technology is impressive, but the marketing that kind of makes it almost like a cinema camera is a little misleading, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so like there's a reason why Canon just announced a $6,000 camera on the same day.
Yeah,
and the iPhone 12 is selling for $1,000. Like there's a reason why that exists, and that's also a phone, computer, an internet communicator. You know what I mean? Like it's right. There's a reason for this stuff, guys.
I gotta say something though. Like if you didn't tell me, I would have thought this was shot on a good camera.
For sure.
Like I cannot deny that. But I don't think that you can do this sort of cinematography all the time. Like this is the best case scenario for this camera, for this cinema mode. If you go out into the wild, you're going to have a lot more misses with how it looks. You're going to have a lot more flaws. It's not something that I think everybody's going to be able to just pick up and use without there being like, you're going to have to plan your shots around the limitations of like portrait mode. Yeah.
So, and this is one thing I've noticed, right? So I would say Apple probably does some of the best human portrait mode fake bokeh on any phone. However, I drink a lot of craft beer, and you can try this out right now. You can try it out at home. Eric, you can try it because you still have your phone on your desk. If you pour a glass of beer and that top part where there's no beer, where it's just a clear glass, the iPhone will mess it up every single time, and Samsung will nail it every time.
Yeah, I mean, so it's not a perfect technology, There's a lot of flaws with the portrait mode. It doesn't always get the edges right. It struggles on things like hair. It struggles on things like nature. I've seen a lot of things where it's convincing, but if you look at it long enough, you'll find, it messed up.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's like, if you know what to look for, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Like I said, like all of the blur is applied at the same strength, regardless of the depth from the subject. Yeah. That's kind of a real go-to for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, again, great cameras. I'm sure they're going to be, best in class for this generation of phones.
Yeah.
But the marketing, in my opinion, was a little misleading.
I like how you're shooting in Dolby Vision HDR. I love that. I think that I want to see more HDR everywhere, like everywhere. I want to see more people filming in it. I want to see people mastering in it. I wish I was mastering my videos in HDR. I know it is hard. Yeah. Like I know people that do it. Like HDTV Test does his videos in HDR. He masters in HDR. And he does it on like an LG monitor, like we use, he's able to do it, but he has like a workflow. Like he's probably built this workflow that's like very technical and difficult. Like it's not easy. And I gotta respect Apple for just making it easy. Like, dude, it just shoots in Dolby Vision HDR, dude. Like it's good. And like that's good. Like same thing with the photos, like the high dynamic range photos.
No,
stuff.
I agree.
Like I'm good. Like bring it to I
will say that straight out of phone video, nothing beats the iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't even think this newer generation of Samsungs beats iPhone for video.
No.
I would make the argument that if I had to use a camera phone for myself and not use a real camera, I would probably use the S21.
Dude, I want you to see something. Look at this.
But if I was doing video, I would definitely take an iPhone without question.
Isn't this funny? Portrait mode artificially blurs the background, right?
Yeah, it looks terrible.
Look how like this is the perfect scenario. You have no hair. It's all like pulled back.
Yeah, it's just a rounded head.
Yeah. Like of course it's gonna nail that.
But what's really interesting to me is again, there's the same amount of blur on the light switch as that candle. And they're definitely
different
distances from the sensor.
No, I get it. And like, even here,
I mean, the same thing applies there too. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing here. It's like definitely fake, right? Like real bokeh is going to
Yeah.
have varying levels of blur depending on distance. So like, it's just what it is. Like I would rather have this maybe from a phone than like the alternative, but I also don't like the artifacts that you get with portrait mode.
See, I never shoot portrait mode on my phone. Never.
I don't either because I don't want to have to be like, did that turn out okay? Like, is it all glitched out? Like, I like how it can look sometimes, but like, it's never worth it. I'd rather just not use it. Yeah, it's like I don't like the computational stuff when it can fail.
Yeah. No, I get it. I do want to talk. I do want to talk A15.
Okay, what, the Bionic?
Yeah.
Okay, so like,
what do you think of it?
Is it in every phone? Hold on.
Yes, it's in every phone.
Okay, so
honestly,
at least
that's my understanding.
I'm gonna be real with you, dude. I didn't care.
Yeah, kind of the same way. Like I said,
I was like, iPhone. Like, we got to a point one year where it was like, phones are fast.
Yeah.
They're
that's
fast.
That's kind of where I'm at too. And then I arrived at the point where my M1 iPad.
Yeah.
I never had a scenario where I was like, oh man, I'm glad I have this over the A12X.
No, there's only been a couple times when I wish a device was faster. I'll give you an example. You know how when you do videos on your phone, they're in like the weird format, and then whenever you got to upload it to something, it's got to do
HEVC, like Apple's
high efficiency. So that's like what it
codec.
is by default. But if you want to like put it on, like say you want to convert that to like an MP4, that takes a while on the phone.
It does. Yeah.
And like,
that's fair.
And another thing is like, because the iPhone doesn't really do things in the background, you got to have it up. Like, I don't think you can just like leave while it's converting and do something else. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you got to have it up. Unless I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
So it's like, crap, I got to wait like forever for it to convert. Like, that sucks. Like, let me give you an example. So I use a, you know how I use a Synology NAS, and it has the Disk Station Photos is the application that you can get. And basically through that app, you can synchronize your iPhone's photos and videos with your NAS. So it basically will upload everything. So when I was selling my iPhone, I just went into DS Photos and turned on Photo Sync to upload everything, all my photos and videos to my NAS. When it hits a video, dude, it like takes so long that it just doesn't work. Like there's like a 12 gig video and it just couldn't convert it. And then eventually it just timed out. So that's like the only time when like it would be nice to have horsepower, but like even then it's not even worth having. Like to me, I just care about the more efficiency increases that you get with new chips.
No, I get it, but it's almost like they make a phone that targets the masses, but why bother? No one's gonna notice that. It's almost like they have nothing else to announce, which is kind of sad. Again, this comes from a tough spot because I love Apple and I love Apple products. I love the iPhone, but this literally, I don't have any excitement for this.
No,
I mean, I have a friend in Discord who is not tech savvy, but he's an iPhone user, big iPhone fan. One of my other friends, asked because he was at work. Oh, what's the new phone like? And he literally linked the iPhone 12 Pro Max page on Best Buy and said, anywhere there's a 12, just find and replace it with a 3. And then it's basically the same thing. So, and that's coming from someone who's not even that tech savvy. That's just someone who.
Right. I've seen it said that this is basically the S year.
This is the S year. I was kind of thinking that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like we have the XS and then the 11, which have the same design.
Right.
And then we have the 12 and the 13, which is the same design. So it's interesting that you bring that up because they kind of like pulled the sneaky on us, right? Like they kind of changed the name to making us think it's a bigger upgrade than just an SU.
Yeah, I think there's no reason if you have an 11 or 12 probably to upgrade to this. Like
I don't think
I can't think of a reason. Like I really can't. It's not really going to give you anything to me that you would want.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, guys, that this cinematography portrait fake bokeh mode is its first iteration. I don't know if you guys remember, like going back, like was it the iPhone 6S, the first introduced portrait mode? That was hot garbage. Like that was unusable, like beta software, ideal conditions only. So if this is something that you're after, I would probably even wait a generation for that feature.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at the 13 Pro right now.
I
Yeah,
don't like
dude,
that
it's
color.
like a 12 Pro Max, dude. Yeah, you
It
said you didn't
is,
like the
dude.
color.
Yeah,
Sierra Blue, dude. What else they got? They
don't
got
like it. The
silver,
the usual
gold,
suspects.
graphite. Yeah. Hold on, hold on. Let me look at my 12 Pro Max, dude. This looks the same. This looks
Yeah,
the same.
you
This
have no
almost like
idea.
exactly the same, dude.
Bro, you put a case on that boy, no one would know what phone you have.
Like,
Yeah,
come on, like,
yeah, no one would know. Cover
it's
your
not gonna
eyes,
focus.
dude.
This
There it
looks like
goes.
the same thing, dude. Look,
Yeah,
hold on. Let me hold this up. Ready?
yeah,
I'm gonna swap it. Is that the same?
yeah.
Oh my
Same
god,
everything.
dude. How am I
Same
supposed to
everything.
flex?
You can't, dude. You
Couldn't they
wouldn't
have
fold on
like
them, dude.
couldn't they add like a fourth camera, dude? Couldn't they like made it a triangle of cameras instead of like an angle like
Diagonal,
yeah.
dude. Why couldn't they go
Yeah, why
diagonal?
couldn't they done like yeah, rotate it like, 30 degrees or
Yeah.
whatever. So then I can show everybody.
But
Just
again,
kidding.
yeah, but like, no, I get it, right? Because like for some people, like,
Is the
I mean,
notch
me too,
smaller?
right? 20% smaller, dude.
It doesn't even look
Can
it.
you tell?
I can't even freaking tell, dude.
No.
I can't even
No,
tell.
dude. Like it's a
There's no
disappointment
way.
here. That's why I said, like, for me, this announcement was Watch OS 8 software and iPad Mini.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is one thing I like. The macro mode. I
Yeah,
like
that's cool.
macro
That's
mode.
cool. That's cool.
Give me that.
So gonna sound cynical here, but I shouldn't because they did give us that feature. All it basically is the lens arrangement in front of the sensor itself that allows it to close focus.
Hmm.
That's why if you ever buy like a starter camera, guys, like a Rebel or like a Nikon or like a Canon
I have
N50
a
or a
Rebel.
Sony A6000, like something like that, you'll see some kit lens that has the words macro printed on it. uh, in the actual photography world, macro is a camera that can not only close focus but also have one to one or greater than one to one image representation at its closest focal distance. So when you have a camera lens that's labeled as macro that isn't like a quote pro grade macro, it just means that it has an optic in there that allows it to focus closer than what you would normally expect it to. Which is fine because it's awesome, right? So like, I don't want to say like, oh, why did they give that to us? Because macro shot's cool, you
No,
know.
I'm glad that
But
I've always noticed. Like, I feel like my Android phones have always focused closer, but like I don't
that's
know.
why. That's why. So
Yeah.
so again, I don't know how they design their optics, but Apple has used like a 5 or 6 element design for a while, and Samsung and a few other manufacturers have been on a 7 element uh, kind of like product cycle for a little bit longer
Yeah.
now.
Yo, dude, do you think that's the iPhone's flash?
I don't know, man. No way, dude. That's like a floodlight. Look at how far away that is.
Dude, look at 2.2x more light, dude.
No way.
Hey, wasn't there some kind of like star photography mode that was coming?
The Pixel had that a while ago, if you remember.
Yeah. I thought
Uh,
I heard something about that in the news.
I
Like
don't know. Like
astrophotography.
that's really hard to do. I mean, that's hard
Okay.
to do in general, right?
So the ultra wide 92%. So basically it's an ultra wide camera increase. Like that's probably significant. But like I don't know. If you use the ultra wide, like that's
Yeah, I
kind of
mean,
good.
I still don't think it's parity with the wide angle, which bothers me, right? Like, why can't you just put the
Yeah.
same sensor in all three of them?
It sounds like that's what they did. What did they do?
I thought it was different because I
I
thought
don't
they had
know.
different apertures. I thought
Yeah,
they had
you may
different
be right.
apertures.
I don't know. They have a new telephoto apparently. Hold on. It says 77 millimeter focal length,
Oh,
3x
oh,
optical
oh!
zoom, blah blah.
Can I just say right out the gate that I'm really happy that Apple actually told us the actual focal length of their telephoto lens?
Have they not done that
Nope,
historically? Oh wow.
nope, nope.
Okay, that's great.
I
That's
mean,
great.
it's weird too because then they omitted it from the wide and the ultra wide, so I don't know what those are. So like, I have no relative
Yeah.
term, but I know that the telephoto is a 77 millimeter equivalent now.
So it's
So
3x. Is it like
it's 3x from
what
the
did they have
wide
before?
from the main
2x? Hold on, let me pull.
2x.
I'm in my iPhone 12
2x.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it says 2.5x in the 12 Pro Max. So wow, you got an extra
Yeah.
0.5x, dude.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Wait. Does it say 6x optical zoom range across the system? That's the entire range. Okay. Blah blah blah. Yeah, cinematic mode. Look, another perfect edge. You see that?
Yeah.
Another perfect
Yeah, dude,
scenario.
it just looks like a cutout to me. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's exactly like it's able to
Yeah.
figure it out
Yeah,
computationally.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
it's such
What
a
you are right, man. Though, like every picture we get of that, they have like some type of hairnet on,
that's
or
what
like
yeah.
really tight hair pulled back.
Dude, can you imagine the meeting? They were like, "Oh God, we gotta freaking sell this feature." Oh
Yeah,
fuck, we gotta marketing's like, all right, we gotta make like a sweet, you know,
yeah.
we gotta make a sweet clip. All right, let's. What kind of scenarios can we dream up that's perfect for this? Okay, everyone has to be bald. Well, that's not very
Yeah.
natural. All right, well, we gotta do something to hide the hair.
Pull the hair back, put him
Yeah.
in a spacesuit. Yeah,
Like, come on, dude.
it's weird to me too. That there's so many like feature parodies now between the 13 and the 13 Pro.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's true. Like, think about it. Like, why go pro? Why? I'm trying to think. Like, okay, you get an extra camera.
So,
What else?
as someone, so I watch it at work,
yeah.
right? Someone came in my office and talked to me about it, and he's someone who's still on a 6S. So he's on a 6-year upgrade cycle. Literally, he's on a 6-year
What
upgrade
a fucking
cycle.
mad lad.
Yeah, dude, he's crazy.
How?
He's crazy.
I wish I could be that strong.
Yeah, same. But he's one of those guys who was like, if it doesn't have an Apple logo, I don't want it. Like, that's kind of the world he lives in.
It's
He has
fine.
the Apple Watch. You know, it's what he knows. It's a great phone. It's a great choice.
Yeah.
But and like he was really looking forward to this keynote, you know. And then he came to my office and he's like, "All right, expert, which one do I get?" Because I'm leaning towards the 13. And I said, "What about the Pro Max?" He goes, "I really don't think there was a difference." And he's like, "I don't care about the cameras," because he doesn't. You know, like he has a 6S, right? So obviously he's not buying big pictures. And like I basically, the reason I sold him or tried to sell him on the Pro Max is because he's on a 6-year upgrade cycle. So if he got the Pro Max with a bigger battery, chances are that phone is going to last longer before that phone just becomes unusable and has to be connected to the wall all the time.
Yeah,
And
if
that
you're
was
on a
basically
dude, if you're on
yeah.
a 6-year cycle, dude,
Yeah.
get the best of the best.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah,
live
that's
with
kinda
this
what I
thing
sold them on.
forever, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean that's
Yeah.
kind of God tier, dude. Like
Yeah.
Apple's still upgrading his phone, probably, right? Like software. Like, does he get? Is the 6S still have the best software?
He's not going to get 15.
Okay, yeah, but like now he's upgrading, so it's
Yeah. Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
I would lean him to, if he doesn't want the chonker, I'd get the 13 Pro. Not even the Max unless he wants a big boy.
Here's where Apple gets deceptive too, and all phone manufacturers do this. So I don't want to get too in the weeds here. What's the screen size on the 13 Pro Max? Is it still the 6.8 or whatever?
I'm looking. 6.7 inch display.
So I think it's the same size as the 12. So he has the 6S Plus, which is the big boy, you know, with the top with the two bezels on top, and it's a 5.5 inch screen.
Okay.
And he was looking at maybe the Pro because it was 6.1. So he's like, "Oh, it'll be a bigger phone. It'll be better." I'm like, not really, because when you think about how the phone works, like if you pull up the keyboard and then you look at like where the notch is, right? So you can almost say that part where the notch is just not usable display, you know, but it counts in the measurements. It's kind of like when guys like measure their male parts and they like push the ruler into their skin, like that part's not usable, but it still counts. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, dude, you know all about that.
Yeah, dude. And then like how like the keyboard kind of like floats in the middle because of like it's not really ergo to be totally at the bottom. And anyway,
yeah.
I digress. I had a coworker bring in their 12, and he compared it I'm sorry, her 12 Pro Max, and he compared it to his 6S, and the footprint is the exact same. So
Oh
he's like,
wow.
"Oh, I didn't realize it was that small."
Yeah, screen sizes have like the
Yeah,
bezels have shrunk. The
right.
screen
But
sizes have
yeah,
increased, but the sizes of the phones hasn't been really a metric, right? Like it's always been about screen size.
yeah,
What we haven't really realized is the bezels have just been shrinking over the years. And so phones have been getting smaller, screens are getting bigger, but really
yeah.
not because the
The
phones are
footprint's
getting
been kind
bigger.
of the same.
Yeah,
Yeah, unless you're
exactly.
on the Android world, you know.
Yeah, and then you can have whatever footprint you want. But you know what I think is this is off topic, on topic, dude. What weird resolutions these are. Like
Yeah, Bizarro
2532 by
World. Yeah,
1170,
yeah. What is that? Yeah,
2778 by 1284. You know what pisses me off about stuff like that? Like if you full screen a video, even if it's like you can't get pixel perfect resolution.
no, you can't. You
That
can't.
like I
There's pixel
hate that it
doubling
has
or
to
something like that.
it has a scale and not even pixel doubling, dude. Like if you get a 1080p and you double it, like you can't, like you can't, like and have it
Yeah,
sharp. Like it's gonna look a little
yeah,
bit aliased or
yeah.
whatever. Not aliased. What is the? It's gonna look filtered, sort of. It's gonna look
I think
scaled.
it does look like aliasing. I think that's kind of the appropriate term.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah,
but
it just bothers me
yeah,
because I'm somebody that like if I'm watching 4K content, I want to be on a 4K TV where it's
yeah,
pixel perfect. Like and like if I'm watching 1440p or 1080p content, I want to be watching on a
yep,
1440p or 1080p.
yep.
If I'm watching 1080p, 4K is perfect because you can pixel
I
double and
mean,
get perfect pixels like four times the pixels or whatever, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, for me, I'm always tempted by Apple keynotes. You know, like even last year, bro. Like I was
yeah.
tempted last year by Apple keynotes.
Yeah.
I'm not at all this year. I'm really not. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you, dude. Like, I was somebody that was gonna be a dual phone person. Like, I told myself, I'm getting the Fold, but I'm not gonna give up iPhone. I can't. I can't do it. And then, I decided I'm gonna sell the 12 Pro Max, and there was this thing in the back of my head that was like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. If you
yeah,
need an iPhone, you'll just get the 13. And like, I'm definitely not hyped, dude. Like,
no, I'm
if
not.
if anything, I would buy one just for a form factor change. I'd get the
Hmm.
mini. Like
Yeah, the
that's
mini. Yeah,
but
that
that's
would
not
be the
even
one I would get
exciting.
too.
Like I'm as excited to get the 13 mini as I would if I got the 12 mini. Like it's
Yeah,
to me, it's like
yeah. I wouldn't. The battery life
battery
would
life
be.
increase is good. Like the
Yeah,
mini
but like,
had like famously bad battery life compared to
yeah.
every other iPhone, and every reviewer commented on it. Like Amanda even comments on it. She has one, and
You
like
know, I almost kind of think that the whole diagonal lens gimmick is just so there's some differentiating factor if the phones are face down on a desk. Because how would you know? How would you know?
yeah, but like the pros don't look any different. So like if you got
How
a
would you
12
know,
Pro,
man?
you
How would you
wouldn't.
know?
Like that's at least with the
You would know.
13
No.
non-pro, you have the latest one. But like with the
Yeah.
13 Pro, it looks like a 12 Pro Max.
Yeah.
So I mean
Yeah.
to be fair, like with a case on, the 12 looks like the 11 Pro and stuff like.
Yeah, it does.
With
It
a
does.
case
Yeah.
on, they look
Yeah.
basically the same.
Yeah. Which kind of goes back to what we said in the previous episode, but Apple pretty much sold me the same phone for 4 years.
Yeah, I know. We were dumb enough to buy them. But
Yeah.
I was mad at you last year because
Oh, I got the 12.
you got the
Nice
12.
sandwich.
We
Yeah.
went foldy boy. We went fold 2. We were like, all right, dude, we're done. And then like the keynote happened. You were still like, and then like you saw it and you were like, oh man, look at that. You know what sold you on it, dude? That shiny edge, dude.
It was twofold.
Look at that polish, dude.
It was
It's so
twofold.
clean.
One, actually, I think the main thing that sold me, which isn't selling me this time, is the watch.
Yeah, okay. So you couldn't find a smartwatch that was anywhere near the Apple Watch
Correct.
because you had the Garmin thing. I think it was Garmin.
Yeah, I had the high end Garmin Phoenix 6S, which was like a $800-900 Garmin watch. Which the coolest thing about that was like a 3-week battery life. Like that's pretty sweet. That
It's
was
not as
cool,
smart though.
but there was smart features were very limited. I felt like I had to make a choice for the Galaxy Watch 3. The race to wake was finicky, and it sounds weird, but like when something that you use literally every time you look at the watch, like the race to wake, if that doesn't work, the entire watch doesn't work, in my opinion. You know, and all of these things are fixed with the Galaxy Watch 4. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's as good as the Apple Watch 7 because I don't think it is, but it's close enough that I don't miss the Apple Watch 7.
Yeah, so I'm in the same boat. Like, I actually have really grown to love this Galaxy Watch 4. I think
told
it's
you,
awesome.
Right, dude?
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
like
everything...
It's
I
hard
have
to
no
explain,
issues.
but it's such a better experience than the 3.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because, like, I had a 3, and it's very similar to a 3 in a lot of ways, but it's just, like, more reliable. The raise to wake works.
Yeah.
Like, notifications feel better. Even the vibration motor, I don't know if it's different than the 3, but it just feels better than I remember.
It feels like the same technology, but it feels tighter.
Yeah.
Like, it feels more
better.
binary. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, it feels like almost like the Taptic engine did.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as, like, like an Android, like my Z Fold 3 on my desk whenever I get notifications. I'm like, dude, chill out. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty great, dude. I'm rocking this like zebra band looking guy right now.
I have to buy some of those.
Yeah, dude, I got a bunch. Like, I got a black one. I got
a gift card to Amazon for my birthday, so I think I'm going to grab some Galaxy Watch bands.
Yeah,
I live an exciting life, so I'm using my Amazon gift card on Galaxy Watch bands and new filters from my Dyson air purifier.
Nice, dude. Gotta filter that air, dude.
Gotta keep it clean.
Gotta clean it. Yeah, dude. These bands. How stupid is it? You can get like these for $10. You know? Like a piece.
And you said they're nice quality, right?
Yeah, I mean they're definitely. They are nice, dude. They're not as nice as like the Apple ones, but Apple ones are $100.
What for?
Dude.
Divide the cost by 10.
Yeah.
Divide the cost by 10.
Oh my god, these are so good if you think about it like that. Like, come on, dude. You can't even tell me that's like.
You should put a link to those in the description.
Yeah, I can do that. But these are just like on Amazon. And I wanted a band. Obviously, they're adjustable, unlike the Apple ones.
That's awesome.
Which, I mean, to me, like, I was worried about that. Like, I was like, oh, it's not going to feel as good. Dude, it's just as good. And I can adjust it.
That's awesome.
Like, the Apple, like, my red one that was on my Apple Watch is now worn out a little bit. And
yeah,
it doesn't
I had the blue one. I think we both talked that, like, it got like stretched out a little bit.
Like, I'm like, I spent $100 on this. And now it's, like, loosened up and because it's made to fit. And then, like, now that it's not fitting anymore, it's done. Like, I was like, do I have to, like, put this in the dryer to shrink it? Like, what's going on? But, yeah, adjustable bands, dude. Like, how freaking revolutionary technology. But, yeah, dude, this Apple event, you know what I wanted? I want new AirPods, dude.
Really?
Well, you know how my AirPods...
I don't have a problem... I know you goofed yours, so it's probably hard for you to buy the same thing again twice.
Yeah, like my Pros got washed and they're kind of never been the same.
I still think the Pros are kind of like the gold standard, in my opinion.
They are, dude. Like, I want new Pros.
Yeah.
I want new Pros, but yeah, it's probably going to be a while before I get Pros. Honestly, you know, I just need to suck it up and start carrying around my freaking Pro Maxes to work. There
you go, dude.
The
bra case.
It's just so... Yeah, I know, the bra case. I've absolutely loved these. The Pro Maxes, they've been fantastic. No problems with those whatsoever. I just think they're great. So I really ought to just use those. But sometimes, like, if you're like walking around the office, you don't want to wear these. You want to have something in your ears that's like, you know, inconspicuous and stuff. So
yeah,
that's where the Pro Max is kind of ideal. But, like, the problem with those is you can wash them in the freaking washing machine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that was bad.
Yeah, I can see that.
And now I've lost them. Like, I can't find them. Like, I brought them.
Find Mine doesn't work? Are they dead?
No, they're dead. So I'm like, where the hell are they? Like, I can't even find them.
Did you have to wash it, dude?
No, I hope I didn't. No, I didn't wash them. I would have found them by now. But,
true.
Yeah, the AirPods 3 are rumored to come at some point. But those will probably be the ones with not the Pros, but they'll probably just be updates to the original AirPods, right? Is that kind of the rumor?
It seems that way. Like, it seems like we're gonna get AirPods 3 before we get AirPods Pro 2.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I'm just really excited. You know, my big takeaway is the Mini's not dead.
Yeah,
'Cause
for
if
this
I ever
event,
do,
yeah.
because if I ever do go back to iPhone, that's my phone, 100%.
To me, this event was just the iPad mini event. I didn't care about
Yeah,
anything
same,
else.
same.
Okay, I'm glad that we got 120 hertz in the Pro one. That's like the only thing. That's the only thing I was like, finally. You know what I mean? But like, I'm sad. The 13, the OG, like, I'd get a 13 mini. It doesn't have ProMotion. That sucks. That
Yeah,
sucks because once you
yeah,
experienced it, like,
bonkers,
I saw a
bonkers. Wish
guy
the
on
mini had
Reddit.
it. Wish the mini had it.
You know, it's stupid. People on Reddit be like, oh, well, these tech nerds, like, you know, they're like, this 60 hertz is fine. Tech nerds want to tech nerd over here about 120
Yeah,
hertz. I'm like, no, dude. Like, it's actually good. Like, if everyone can do it, why can't Apple do it? And why can't they do it on everything?
right.
So that's what bothers me, dude. I wish the 13 mini had it, or give me a 13 mini Pro or something. I don't know, dude. I want that mini to be, I want it to be good, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the Pro,
Yeah.
like the
At least we got
iPad.
it, dude. At least we got it.
Yeah, I'll take the iPad mini though. If I didn't, if I was still in iPhone land, then I'd probably be looking at getting that mini.
Yeah, I would too. I like I said, I still have my Pro. I love it. Use it for work.
Yeah.
You know, take all my work documentation notes on it. Fantastic for that.
Yeah.
And that's still the world it's going to live in. You know, it's a nice work companion for me, and it's really well done for that. It's really well suited for that.
Yeah.
But for my personal everyday media consumption, read books, read Reddit, the Fold takes the cake just because it's always with me.
Yeah, I know. You know what I kind of wish? I wish that the S Pen like magnetized to it.
Yeah, we all
or
do.
something. Because like, I'm looking at the iPad mini and it has Apple Pencil support and it clicks
I'll tell you
to
what,
it
though.
and I'm like, dang, dude.
See, you have a pencil with your current iPad?
Yes.
That magnet falls off all the time, and then I'm like, oh shoot, where'd my pencil go?
I know, dude. It
Like,
sticks
I
on there
guarantee you,
surprisingly well, but it can still come off.
Unequivocally, if I go in my work bag right now, I would bet you 9-1 that it is no longer attached to the iPad. It's in the bottom of my bag.
Yeah, I know. It's true. It's true. I've been carrying around the Samsung S Pen in my pocket. I've literally just had it in its case in my pocket, and I pull it out and I use it. And because like I love using it. Like it's so fun to use. It's like, oh yeah, unfold and then start taking notes. It's great.
Funny because like I went to the Ren Fair and like we because last weekend was my birthday and we rented a bus and so like we didn't have to drive, so like we get drunk and stuff, and the New World open beta was going on, and not that I watched like streamers or anything, but I was just curious to see the game and learn a little bit more about it before it came out.
Yeah.
And my buddy who's really into the game was sitting next to me, so I pulled up a stream on my Fold, and he has like an iPhone 12, and like as soon as I unfolded and brought up Twitch, his reaction was, "Whoa, what the fuck is that thing?" You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah, isn't it nuts how like the Fold is still like a wow factor to it? People you bust it out like, dude, I went to the Apple store and the Apple employees with the Z Fold 2 were like, what the fuck? Like they were like, whoa. Like the Apple store employees, like, cause they're just dudes, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like they were shocked that I was trading it in. This is when I was getting the 12 Pro Max. I traded my Z Fold 2 for it like an idiot. And but they were like this is cool, you know? And like they were like, what are you doing? Like you're gonna trade they were like literally in disbelief that I was trading this thing in. You know?
Yeah, for me, you know, the Z Fold 3 being so good and the Galaxy Watch 4, I think also played into why I'm less excited for this keynote. Like I said, the Fold 3 has waterproofing. The multitasking that Samsung put into the new One UI layer is infinitely better. And
so good.
The watch is passable now, you know?
Yeah.
So
No, I think this is where I want to be until Apple innovates in some big way. Like I don't see myself going back to the iPhone anytime soon. Like, you know, I've bounced back and forth, and like it's weird because like for some reason I don't recall what it is now. I feel like I have like a crappy memory. I'm like, why did I trade in the Z Fold 2 for the 11?
Dude, I think the same thing all the time.
Why did I do
the same thing all the time? Like I couldn't tell you how many times I was on my 12, and I'm like,
yeah.
why is that phone gone? Why did I get rid of the folding board?
I don't know.
And it's weird because like I trade in phones all the time, or like I sell phones, you know, so on and so forth. But I've never regretted that except with the fold because I felt like I went backwards.
I know, it's weird. You know, I think with us, it's like we always have this like the grass is greener on the other side feeling.
Yeah.
And like that's why we went back. And it's like you get caught up in the hype, and like
you do get caught up in the hype. Dude,
you start to
Apple
sell
marketing.
your stuff, like you start to justify it. You're like, oh, apps are so much better on the iPhone. It's just so much rock solid, and the cameras and you start selling your stuff. Oh, the Apple ecosystem features. Oh, you know, like it's going to be a better thing. I have the new M1 Mac. I need something that goes with it. So it's just so much.
You
dude.
kind of get sucked in, right? Because like that M1 Mac is like a gateway product, right? It's like you get it and you're like, this is so good. So it's like if I get my phone, I can one button tether my M1 Mac to it, you know, and then you end up buying a subpar phone to tether your MacBook to it.
I know, dude, but like I get it. Like once the M1 Mac came out, like we were like Apple ecosystem full stop, dude. We're in.
Yeah.
Because it's so good. But then it's like,
it's so good. Yeah.
Okay. And then you realize that the Fold's actually kind of a goat. It's kind of the best.
The Fold is the go-to.
Fold, I think right now the Fold is the best. And it's going to be a while before the Apple can catch up. So
so you know, guys, just to kind of close it out, if you want that phone that's going to, you know, be productive, be innovative, think differently.
Think differently.
It's still the Fold.
It is. I think the Fold's still like the gold standard for innovation right now. And you know, not to hate on the iPhone people, I know a lot of them.
It's a great phone. It's a great choice. It's a great choice.
I want something more fun, more interesting, and more productive and more capable, and the Fold does it. So, but yeah, I mean that's been our impressions of the Apple event, and any last words on it, dude?
Not really. I'm curious to see just how pushed back that Apple Watch is.
It's weird that it's not like, you know, coming sooner. Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll talk about that in later podcasts. But let's go ahead and wrap it up. Anyway, that's been the Technostatic podcast. Definitely check us out. Check us out on technostatic.com. Send us an email. And you can catch us everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. I like Spotify personally. And YouTube, if you want to actually see our faces. That'd be great. Go ahead and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys next week on the Technostatic podcast.
Peace.